Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation, with news that we have seen before. But we're going to kind of dig into this a little bit, thanks to Silver Doctors, James Anderson, and several members of the community had made me aware of this. But the U.S. Mint has sold out of 2019 Silver Eagle coins. The Mint just announced it has temporarily sold out of the 2019 Silver Eagle coins, effective immediately. And here's the actual notice here from the Mint. And it says the 2019 American Silver Eagle bullion coins. This is to inform you that we have temporarily sold out of our inventories of 2019 dated American Silver Eagle bullion coins. In addition, all remaining 2018 dated inventories have been sold as well. The West Point Mint is busy producing additional 2019 dated American Eagle silver bullion coins. We hope to be able to relaunch the 2019 dated coins in a few weeks. Please let me know if you have any additional questions. And this is something that we've seen in the recent past, and we're going to kind of explore a little bit some of the reasons why that is the case, thanks to some research done by James Anderson of the Silver Doctors. But also, I'll remind those of what happened in 2009 when there was a shortage. Apparently, that's why the proof Silver Eagle was not produced that year. It was the only year they never produced a proof Silver Eagle. I think they just used all those blanks for the bullion versions. So this particular article goes on to say that these occasional sellouts and supply disruptions in newly struck American Silver Eagle coins is nothing new. Since the 2008 financial crisis, there have hardly been years in which U.S. Mint has not had to temporarily halt bulk silver bullion sales of newly struck American Silver Eagle coins for various reasons. Currently, some of the largest and most easily identifiable market supply constraints for the U.S. Mint American Silver Eagle coin program are as follows. A recent uptick in Silver Eagle coin buying, the just-in-time delivery nature of the U.S. Mint bullion program, and the Silver Eagle coin plancha supplier constraints have worsened recently. That's the key. That's the thing to keep in mind here, is that, a lot of it is policy from the Mint, but also the plancha supplier constraints. And so this is kind of where you see some of the sales data, and look at all the increase in here. We see that 2009 that I talked about, and really picked up in that period. And they didn't know what to do, I guess, with all that. And since it hadn't seen that kind of spike so quickly, and so that's why you didn't see a proof Silver Eagle that year. And then look at the subsequent years here, and really, it wasn't until last year or parts of 2017, 2018, where you saw really demand fall off crazy. But with that being said there, we'll go to this particular statement from a more recent blog. And actually, this is also in video form as well. Bullion dealer Silver Eagle coin inventory levels are not exorbitantly low at the moment, but their amounts are numbered. The U.S. Mint is known to get caught flat-footed, and there are many reasons as to why that's the case. Currently, some of the largest and most easily identifiable market supply constraints for the U.S. Mint American Silver Eagle coin program are as follows. A recent uptick in Silver Eagle coin buying in 2019 versus the last 2 years. The U.S. Mint's quasi-just-in-time delivering nature, basically a refusal to inventory more than the U.S. Treasury Secretary deems necessary. So there's it's a policy that the Treasury Secretary sets, and really it should be flexible in this case to allow the coins to be sold to prevent some of these sellouts, temporary sellouts. The usual problem, Silver Eagle coin plancha supplier constraints have worsened with more and more private seller, refiner, and silver mint bankruptcies over the last few years. Think of it, names which once produced bullion are now gone. Names like Northwest Territorial Mint and Elemental Republic Metals. Of course, you may remember tolving as well. But here's where it gets interesting, or where I didn't realize, because I had thought it was only Sunshine Minting that produced the blanks for the United States Mint Silver Eagles. These entities' disappearance from the bullion market has real-world effects. It diverts much former silver bullion and round and bar demand towards still functioning mints like Silvertown and Sunshine Minting. So maybe James is saying here that, yes, Sunshine Minting may be the only one that's producing the blanks, but because of the demand that's been taken over from these companies, Northwest Territorial Mint, Elemental, and Republic Metals, and that they're keeping pace with production. The Sunshine Mint not only has more demand for its private label silver bullion bars and rounds as a result, it also remains perhaps the biggest silver eagle planchet provider to the U.S. Mint today, and for many years now. Yeah, and I was under the impression that it was the only one. But nonetheless, it is fascinating. I'll tell you what, if you have a lot of money and a way to start a business, you could definitely probably get into business providing blanks for the U.S. Mint if you were so inclined. More than likely, the need is there. And he says, and James has been working the front lines of this industry since 2008. And it is crazy to have no products for days, weeks, and months at a time. It definitely hurts the bullion dealers out there for sure. So what will the Mint do? And I think this is great analysis, because if Sunshine Minting, though just the primary producer of bullion of the planchets for the Eagles, what other companies out there are producing? Is Silvertown doing it? Who else could possibly be producing these blanks? Are there any mints out there that have the tooling and the resources to do high production runs to the standards, to the strict standards that are provided for these blanks? I don't know. Is there even any possibility? But nonetheless, it is fascinating to see, and I think that is really what is the problem here. Is we're seeing a lot of hits in the precious metals industry, with a lot of these companies going out of business, either because of bankruptcies or financial problems, and or corruption of some sort in some way. And we saw that with all three of these companies: Northwest Territorial Mint, Elemental, Republic Metals, and tolving as well. Although tolving, probably their demise, I think, was probably a little more far removed as to how they deal with the United States Mint. So very fascinating indeed. It's news that some people will take and think that, well, there's a shortage of silver, but that's not the reason at all. And as James Henderson points out here, it's because of these factors. Thought it was very fascinating indeed. But this silver coin sales from this graph here, I think, is quite interesting here to see how few were sold between 2017 and 2019 compared to all the years since 2008. Look at all that big demand coming in through there, and now it's kind of normalized back to, in some cases, back before the mid-2000 levels. And then you look back here in 1996. Of course, look at 1996 here, the lowest there, and you can see why that particular coin tends to carry somewhat of a numismatic premium. Less had sold that year, less were minted, and as a result. So therefore, it is a much fewer demand there, and that really through all the 90s, really. And it is fascinating to see the pickup in demand through the 2000s, and explosive demand from 2008 until really 2017 here. Fascinating indeed, and even as 2019 has started along here, we're not seeing the demand that we saw back in 2015, 2012, 2016, but there's still a shortage. Imagine if there's this kind of demand that we're seeing here in the mid-2000 teens happening right now. Boy, we would be in a crisis mode and probably see at least the Silver Eagle prices probably soar if this kind of demand was here and those particular coins were not available for sale. Very interesting indeed. Thanks again to those of you who sent this information along to me. Post your thoughts below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude y'all for watching and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.